Hey, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, and today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. I'm going to cook a brisket, full packer brisket, and I'm going to cook it just on the smoker. We're going to do it on the Masterbuilt gravity fed that I have, and we're going to use a little pecan wood and charcoal, and then I'm going to let it get up to temp. We're going to finish it up and let it sit in my Anova Precision Oven to kind of rest and develop some more tenderness while we go to church tomorrow, and when we get home, we're gonna have this for lunch. So I'm gonna get this started tonight, make sure it gets all done in the smoker at a low temperature, and then we're gonna get it going. I'll be back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
All right, guys, like I said, I'm going to get this all in the smoker. That's how we're going to cook it, but for something that I haven't done before. And one of the things that a lot of these famous barbecue restaurants do, especially Franklin BBQ out in Austin, Texas, that they do, is they hold their cooked briskets in an Alto Shaam, I think it's Alto Shaam steam oven. That's where they hold them before they serve them. So they'll take them out of their smoker when they're done. They keep them wrapped in their butcher paper. They put them in this steam oven to kind of continue cooking and slow cooking in a steam oven at a low temperature, like 140, 150 degrees. And when they're ready to serve them up, they take them out of there and cut them up, and they turn out really, really well. Now, if you've watched any other videos lately on YouTube, you'll see people are thinking that Aaron Franklin uses beef tallow, pours beef tallow all over his briskets as his secret. Well, it really isn't. The secret is he holds them in a steam oven for 3-4 hours before he serves them up, and that lets them continue to cook. Just like if you hold it in a cooler wrapped in towels after you take it off the grill or smoker, it continues to cook and break down the fibers and the collagen, and the fat continues to render, and it really makes the brisket a lot more tender and juicy. So that's the secret of Aaron Franklin's brisket, is he holds them in an Alto Shaam steam oven for 3 or 4 hours before he serves them up. And he takes them out, and there's been people showing videos of him taking them out of these ovens where it's just completely covered and drenched in moisture, thinking that he dumped tallow or something on them, which makes no sense to me, because tallow wouldn't do anything but coat it. It doesn't suck into the meat or anything. But what the real secret is those Alto Shaam ovens where he actually just lets them sit there in a steam oven and continue to cook down and break down until he's ready to serve them. And we're going to try to do that in our Anova Precision Oven, because it's a steam oven. I'm going to hope that this shrinks down enough to be able to fit it in there without any problems, because right now it's kind of tight. I don't think it would fit in there fully if it wasn't cooked down some. So I'm hoping this will shrink down 3 or 4 inches lengthwise, so that I can put it in there and hold it tomorrow morning until we get back for lunch. And then we're going to cut into it, see how it turns out. First of all, I'm going to get this trimmed up. I'm not going to bore you guys with showing you how I'm trimming up the brisket. I'm going to take a good portion of this fat off. I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch on the flat side because we are cooking it strictly on the Masterbuilt on a smoker, not sous videing it. So I'm not going to remove as much fat as I would if I was going to sous vide it first. So I'm going to get it trimmed up, seasoned up, and then we're going to stick it on the Masterbuilt until it gets up to the stall temperature, usually around 160. Then we're going to wrap it in pink butcher paper and then cook it the rest of the way. And then we're going to hold it in the steam oven, see how it turns out. I'll be back. Well, all right, guys. I have my brisket all trimmed up, and it's in the refrigerator. It's been in there for a couple hours, dry brine in there a little bit with some salt, pepper, and garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and get the Masterbuilt going here. So I'm going to let it get up to temp for about a half hour or so, and then we're going to put the brisket on. So I've got a little bit of leftover charcoal in there, and I'm going to use that, but I'm also going to use some of this Prime 6 charcoal that you've seen me do a video on. It takes a lot to get this lit, but it lasts a long time. So I'm going to try it in this brisket cook because this is going to be a long cook. It's going to be, you know, a good 12-hour cook. So this charcoal should be perfect for that type of cook. And I've already got some pecan wood in there. I'm going to put a couple more pieces in here and kind of scatter it out so that we get some that burns through the whole time of the cook. Like I said, some of this prime 6 charcoal is pretty long, so I don't want it that long, so I'm just going to bang it and break it down into smaller chunks, because this charcoal hopper is not really meant for really big pieces of charcoal. But I'm hoping that since this prime 6 is really compressed and burns for a long time, that this will actually get through a whole brisket cook. Because normally they say that the this cooker only lasts about 8 hours on a full hopper of charcoal. So we're gonna, like I said, hopefully this prime 6 will last a lot longer. Hopefully it stays lit and burning the whole time, and that we can not have to worry about putting any more charcoal in here before it's done. All right, guys, so I got pretty much all that whole box in here, which is probably about 7 pounds left after my testing. And I'm going to go ahead and light my fire starter. And hopefully, I'm going to open this back up, let some air flow through before it gets started here. And hopefully this fire starter will be enough to get this fire going really good. All right, guys, I'll see you back in a few, and I'm getting the brisket on. All right, guys, I got my brisket out of the refrigerator. I had it all seasoned up after I trimmed it, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. I know it's not exactly, you know, Texas style, because I got garlic in there. Believe me, it's going to turn out great. So my Masterbuilt is up to temp. It looks like it's holding good. Got some smoke rolling there. One of the things you want to do when you're, I'm going to put the probe in it with this, of course, so I can monitor the temp all night. So I'm going to get this on, and we'll be back. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stick this on. I'm going to use my little claws here to get into the meat and just pick it up. Make it easier for me to move it around. I hope. It's going to stuck to my pan. I'm going to stick it right in the middle there. And I'm going to stick it in here is just long enough to hit the stall. I'm going to stick this right, kind of right deep here where the point and the flat meet. Right here at the seam. And stick it deep in there. When it hits the stall, or go on around 160 or so, if I see it's not moving, then we're going to wrap it in butcher paper. All right, nice smoke rolling. Get this back going. The fan will kick back on, and I'll see you again when we're going to wrap this. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys. The good thing about the Masterbuilt Gravity Fed series is that they have the monitoring, and they'll be able to set the temperature of your pit and monitor the temp of the meat. And here it is. All right, when it hits the stall, I'll see you when we're wrapping it. All right, guys, it's about 10:15. We've been out here. It's been in there about a little over 5.5 hours, and it's right at 158. There, it's kind of been hovering around there for the last 20 minutes or so. So that is our stall. I'm going to open it up, give you a kind of a close-up here. Get out of the way so you can take a look. Close up. Nice crust forming on there, nice color. So I'm ready to go ahead and wrap this up in butcher paper. I'm going to put a little bit of beef stock in with it, and we're going to kind of flip it over. It's been fat cap down this whole time. We're gonna take it off, wrap it, and then we're gonna put it on the other side so that we can even out, not have one side too crusty. All right, guys, we will get this wrapped, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, I got it all wrapped up in pink butcher paper. I put 2 layers on here just in case. So I got the probe stuck back in there. I stuck it in a different spot, so it's reading a different temperature. But we're going to let this run. It's still sitting at the stall temperature, but we're going to let this run until it gets up to about 205 degrees. I'm going to set my alarm. Hopefully that'll let me sleep for a few hours, and then we'll come back, take it out of the smoker, and then we'll put it in our Anova Precision Oven with 100% humidity and all that. So, all right, I will see you guys hopefully in another 5 or 6 hours. All right, guys. Well, I got up at about 5:30 this morning, and the brisket was right at 205 internal temp. So my alarm went off. Went ahead and took it out and stuck it in my Anova Precision Oven here so that I can hold it, have it set at 150 degrees, 100% steam. It's been in there about 2 hours now, as you can see, and we're getting ready to head to church in a little bit, and we're gonna eat this for lunch when we get back. So I got it set right at 150. I might lower it down to like 140 or so, and keep it at 100% steam. And when we come back, we'll take this thing out, cut into it, and see how it turned out. Let me go ahead and open this up, show you what it's looking like in there. You can see it just fit. So this was about a 17 or 18 pound brisket fully when I bought it, trimmed off the fat, and it shrunk down enough to be able to fit in the Anova Precision Oven. Still got it wrapped in the butcher paper, just like they do in the restaurants. So this is gonna just hold just fine until we get back. I'll see you guys when we're cutting into this, see how it turned out. All right, guys, I am back. So after about 5 or so hours in the Anova Precision Oven with 100% steam at about 145 degrees, it's well rested, kept really moist. Just want to kind of show you, I had 2 levels of paper on here, so maybe this one didn't get quite as wet as the one on top here. But as you can see, it's well soaked there with the fat and moisture. So all the higher end barbecue places like Franklin's have steam ovens where they hold the brisket after it's cooked. And that's really the secret to Franklin's barbecue. They hold this brisket their brisket in a steam oven, Alto Shaam steam oven, for several hours after it comes off the smoker. They also do, their process of the way they smoke it and how they smoke it. That's all his stuff too. But this really isn't much of a secret, but this is a good reason why their brisket turns out the way it does. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and to show you just how wet this butcher paper is. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Just see how soaked through it is with fat and moisture. So we can show you what this looks like coming out of the paper. Give you a close-up here so you can see just how awesome that brisket looks. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the paper, and we're going to slice it up, see how it tastes. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, this is ready to go. So I got my point here on the top, got my flat here on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece off of the flat, just so you guys can see just how this turned out. Nice going through it, just like butter. So it's not really long enough to fold all the way, but you can see there's plenty of moisture in here. It's broken down really well. It's not dry. It's not tough, really tender. That's pretty awesome. I'll get a piece of the point here. Nice smoke ring. Wow. Some great stuff, guys. Check it out. If you have a Anova Precision Oven, this is the best way to hold your brisket. You know, use 100% steam, about 145 degrees. Masterbuilt did a great job cooking this brisket. I'm going to go ahead, slice this up, and we're going to have it for lunch. So, thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on our Instagram. Follow us on our Fire and Water Cooking podcast. And I'll see you again on the next Fire and Water Cooking video. Thanks, guys.